Welcome, everyone. It's very good to be with you here today. And I'm delighted to have leading spiritual teacher and top coach from Calgary, Canada, again here with us today. Bernie Friederer, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Liz, and thanks for the introduction and being here today too.
Well, I'm really looking forward to continuing our conversation. And I think today our conversation is going to be on the very important topic of truth. An important question I have for you is, can you describe how truth shows up and doesn't show up for us as students of A Course in Miracles? Because many of us do struggle with it on a day-to-day basis, even though we're trying very hard.
Well, it's a great question, Liz, once again. And let me offer this as that truth is an aspect, or it has a similar background with trust. And in the two, we are created as a thought of truth. So when we're living from that place, we're actually living from how we are created as a thought of God. When truth is showing up, we will find that our life is in flow. Things that need to show up will show up. We will find that when we're not in truth, and so on how it doesn't show up, is what happens is we find that there's resistance. We find that there's something within ourselves that doesn't seem to align. And so the question that we can always come back to is if things aren't aligned, if things don't seem to be flowing, where am I not being in my truth? Where am I withholding something? Where am I focused on something that could be out of sequence, out of alignment with my true self? And so when I'm out of alignment, if I look at that and say, okay, something's not right, come back to the truth of who I am and just simply ask. Then when it's not showing up, I can get back to that place of truth and trust that I am going to be in alignment and things will start coming towards me. That is the gift of how we can stay in our truth. And that's how we can identify when things are showing up, when we are in our truth, how things are showing up. If we're in a flow and we're moving through things in a fashion that does flow for us.
That's terrific. It just sort of speaks to, when you use the words alignment and flow, that's very different from what I was saying is for those of us that are trying hard, like that's the ego coming in. So it feels like, somebody like myself would need to be much more receptive and relax into it more. And it just feels like it's coming up from a place of peace and not forceful.
Absolutely. When we're trying to make something happen, then we're out of alignment with the truth of what we are. And
Mm.
we're trying to make things happen rather than create with our creator, create more and expand love.
Thank you so much for that. The other question I have for you is, as I said, many of us are um, wanting to deepen in to the essence of truth. And I'm wondering if you have a favorite practice or just something that's been really helpful for you over the years to deepen into living from a place of truth, and whether you can offer that to anybody who's watching today.
Another great question, Liz. Thank you. And there's a practice we can do. I would say that it starts off with doing a continuous check-in with ourselves. What's going on in our minds? Are we liking something or disliking something? And when we have the labels of like or dislike, we're actually putting an attachment to that, and that disconnects us from our truth. So when we recognize that that is going on for us, someplace we have replaced love with fear in our minds, and we've come to what is not true. So we can, in that moment, we can take a breath and simply ask, what is most loving here? We open our hearts, we open our minds, and we allow an answer to come quickly. When we fail to ask, when we're stuck in like or dislike, we get stuck in our fears, what's false, we get stuck in our withholding or not wanting to hear what is true. So the more we practice taking a breath and asking, and then forgiving ourselves for the attachment to the like or dislike, we come to that place of receiving the flow, moving back into that flow of love that we are. And then it's up to when we actually practice that, it's not necessary that we have to go out and start making it, trying to tell anybody or show anybody or tell anybody, but we demonstrate how to be in that loving, truthful place. And that is the way that, we continue to build on the truth of what we are, the thought of God. We trust that the answer is coming when we ask. And from there, important to be gentle with ourselves, not get caught up in it's not right, because that'll just keep us in a place of fear. And when we're willing to receive, then from there, we're shifting from our beliefs to our thoughts, that then in turn allows us to shape our trust, and we can be more truthful and receive whatever truth is coming to us.
That's wonderful. I think that's going to have a big impact on those of us that are very deep feelers because we can feel the emotion of what we like and what we don't like. I don't know, I would say almost very, very quickly or intuitively. And so to have a practice where we can ask ourselves, give us the pause and have a reflection on, what's the most loving thing here. Um, I'm going to start that one. Thank you. I'm sure some of the viewers might find that helpful today. So thank you very much, Bernie. This has been another really rich conversation.
Now, whenever something it seems like it's not in alignment, again, that's just asking and being willing to receive.